Welcome back to the CUC Softball field as we are already underway here in Game 2 as your Concordia University Chicago Cougars taking on the Concordia University Wisconsin Falcons. Peter Borkowski joining you once again on the Cougar Sports Network, and we are already 1 out into the second game. Sydney Erdman led off, grounded out to Emily Garcia to get us started. It is now Maddie Wheat at the plate as she takes strike 2, looking 0-2 count against the freshman in the circle for CUC, Megan Buska. Buska, a 3.57 ERA and 21 appearances so far this year. This is just her second start of the season, and 47 innings pitched, and that'll be strike 3. Wheat tried to go for the bunt attempt, missed the ball, and that'll be strike 3. First strikeout of the day for Megan Buska, who's been arguably the Cougars' second most reliable pitcher behind Ashley Schroll. Schroll is not dressed today, so we will not be seeing her. That ball is drilled into left, but right into the glove of Gina Westfall. So Buska comes in, delivers a 1-2-3 inning, and we head out to the bottom of the first. Cougars, Falcons, no score just yet. You're watching the Cougars Sports Network. Arissa Santos will lead us off here for the Cougars. And she goes up against number 20 in the circle, Jasmine Freeze, who we've seen today. She's even hit a home run in terms of her work pitching this year. 13 appearances, 7 starts coming in today, a 3.69 ERA. And she starts by going up against arguably the Cougars' best hitter in Arissa Santos, who will take strike 1 to get us underway here. Santos had a hit in game 1. It was an 11-0 win for CUW as she swings through that one for strike 2. And here's the 0-2 outside, makes it 1-2. That ball, oh, I think it hit Santos, but they're going to say foul ball. Must have caught the butt end of her bat. It was right up in her hands area. And that ball is drilled into right field. That'll get down for a base knock. Leadoff single for Arissa Santos and the Cougars. Already a much better start to this game offensively than in game 1. So Haley Goldsby will step up to the plate now with the leadoff runner on first. As Goldsby lays down a bunt, it'll advance Santos to second. So successful sack bunt for Haley Goldsby. Goldsby in center field this game as well. And now it'll bring up the CUC second baseman, Emily Garcia.
Now batting for the Cougars, number 22, Emily Garcia.
Garcia also had a base hit in game 1 of this doubleheader. Final game of the regular season is here now as that ball down low for ball 1. So you see out of playoff contention, however, with the game 1 loss. So now they're just playing for some pride, try and upset their Concordia sibling from up north as Garcia will take ball 2 from Freeze. The 2-0 misses, makes it 3-0 now. Garcia very patient approach to this plate appearance. The 3-0 from Freeze. In there, first strike of the at-bat makes it 3-1. That ball fouled straight back, makes it 3-2. Full count now on Garcia. It was a 3-0 count at one point. Jasmine Freeze able to get the count back to where she would like as that ball is hit up the middle, base hit. Arissa Santos rounding third. She's going to come home to try and score. She will. And the Cougars, in just 3 batters, already have a run on the board. Weren't able to get one at all last game, and now they have a early 1-0 lead against the Falcons.
Now batting for the Cougars, number 12,
Should go down as an RBI single for Emily Garcia. Pushes Arissa Santos across home, and then Garcia getting to second on the throw, and now it'll bring up the Cougar backstop, Jessica Gang. And the first pitch to Gang in there for a strike. Here's the 0-1. Misses, makes it 1-1 now. The 1-1 to Gang is fouled off, so it'll be 1-2 now. It is 5:30 here in River Forest as that sun is in sunset mode. That ball misses, makes it 2-2. So, of course, the question is going to be, will we be able to finish this game, especially if it's a longer game. We saw a game a couple weeks ago against Lake Forest here at CUC be called a tie as that ball is popped up, and it is caught by number 16, Gabby Gaziano at first base. So that'll be out number 2. And we'll bring up the CUC third baseman, number 1, Bella Archuleta, playing now in her final collegiate game. And she lines that one foul down the right field line. 0-1 count. The 0-1. And that one just gets past Bloyer. Not sure what he called there. He called it a foul ball, excuse me, so it's 0-2. Didn't quite see what happened in front of the umpire. So 0-2 count now to Archuleta. Frees the pitch and just fouls it off to stay alive. Here's the 0-2. And Archuleta has to reach for it, and it eats up. Pozinski gets it over to first just in time, though. That ball popped up into her chest, able to make the play. But the Cougars, thanks to an RBI single from Emily Garcia, put one run up on the board. We head now to the top of the second. Cougars up on the Falcons 1-0. You're watching the Cougars Sports Network. Claudia Utz at the plate now for CUW. She was the catcher in game one. Now she finds herself in right field for the second game. She takes ball one from Busco at a clean first inning. 3 batters up, 3 batters down for the freshman. As the 1-0 is knocked up foul. It lands behind the bleacher section here at CUC. So count evened up at 1-1. That ball popped up, getting under it is Haley Goldsby in right center for out number 1. Now bring up Megan Bloyer. Bloyer, the catcher in this second game for CUW. Went 1 for 3 with an RBI in game 1 where she played first base. One 0 count after the first pitch from Busca to Bloyer. Is the next pitch to Bloyer in there for a strike, 1-1. Busca gets set, the 1-1 to Bloyer. He's going to take inside, makes it 2-1. That ball is drilled into deep left field. That's got a chance. That's up against the wall. Excuse me. That ball was rocketed, and it was probably just a couple feet from leaving the park. Instead, it turns into just a single for Boyer. About the farthest hit single you can get. She lands on first base, and now it'll be Jasmine Freeze. Freeze, the pitcher for CUW in this second game. And she's going to take the first pitch for a strike. In game one, Freeze went 2 for 3 with a solo home run. Ended up compiling 3 total RBIs. As she makes contact with this one, scooped up by Santos to throw to second in time. No throw to first. The Cougars settle for 1. They get the lead runner out on the fielder's choice from Jasmine Freeze. And with 2 outs, a runner at first, it'll now be Gabby Gaziano, the first baseman. Gaziano appeared in game 1 at second base, where she went 0 for 4. Takes a strike on the first pitch from Buska. And now she'll swing at that one for strike 2. 0-2 count quickly on Gaziano. So 0-2 count on the CUW second baseman. She'll take a ball to stay alive. Here's the 1-2. That ball rocketed. Oh, off the foot of Coach Crook, the CUW coach, staying at third base. Luckily, it hit him on the foot. He's covered by the shoe. It could have done some damage if it hit him up high on the ankle. CUW has had some hard-hit foul balls this game, specifically from Riley Duvall, who's sitting in the 9th spot in this game like she did in game 1. Here's the 1-2. Outside for ball 2. Evens up the count at 2-2. Here's 2-2. High for ball 3. Back pick attempt is nowhere close. So we are at 3-2 count now on Gaziano. Buska trying to end the inning. Gaziano trying to extend it. As that ball fouled off, she just stays alive. And the 3-2 again for Buska. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Buska gets a swinging strikeout to end the inning. The Falcons, they strand 1. And so we head now to the bottom of the second. Cougars look to tag on to their 1-0 lead. We'll have that for you in just a second when we're back on the Cougars Sports Network.
Guys, we appreciate you tuning into today's game. To stay up to date on all things CUC Softball,
follow us on Twitter and Instagram at CUC Softball. We'll see you on campus soon.
go Cougars!
Melissa Hajik leads us off here in the bottom of the second. Hajik playing at first base again in this second game. In game 1, she went 0 for 3. She's trying to end her sophomore season on a high note here in game 2. The first pitch from Freeze misses just barely for ball 1. Magic gets some chance from her dugout. That ball skips away from Bloyer behind the plate. So it'll be a 2-0 count now. As the 2-0 to Hajik. She makes contact with down the first baseline foul. 2-1 count now on the CUC first baseman. So she's seen most of her time this season as the 2-1 is inside 3-1. Hajik, also a catcher, has seen some time behind the plate this year, but is mostly been the Cougars' dominant first baseman. Does a good job there defensively. She had some nice picks in game 1. The 3-1 now. She's going to take for strike 2. 3-2 the count. As she fouls that off to stay alive. So 3-2 coming up shortly here to Hajik, trying to stay alive. It's a good fight between her and Freeze as the 3-2 is in there for ball 4. Second straight inning, the Cougars' leadoff hitter has gotten on, and now it'll be Gina Westfall, the left fielder for the Cougars, playing in her last collegiate ball game. In game 1, Westfall went 0 for 2, was also hit by a pitch. She's going to take this first pitch for a ball. And now Bloyer is going to go out to have a chat with her pitcher Freeze, who has not been nearly as clean, or as effective, I should say, as her game 1 counterpart Martinez. Martinez had some messy pitches here and there, but kept the damage to a minimum, giving up no runs across 6 innings of work. Gave up just 4 hits, no runs, like I said, 2 walks, and a pair of strikeouts across 82 total pitches. That ball fouled straight back. Also picked up the win, Martinez did in game 1. Meanwhile, Freeze, game 2 pitcher for the Falcons, a 1-1 count on Westfall. As here's the pitch. Westfall swings through it for strike 2, 1-2 now. CUC senior outfielder, finishing up a 4-year career as a Cougar. Here's the 1-2. Westfall lines out. Oh, what a snag! Pozesinski, the throw to first, is in time. Highway robbery by Jess Pozesinski. That ball looked destined for the outfield. She just grabs it fully extended, and then they are able to get the throw over to first in time to pick off Melissa Hajik. What a play there by Pozesinski. She had 2 home runs in game 1, and now she's flashing the leather here in game 2. So with 2 outs now, It'll be the right fielder, Alyssa Contopoulos, who takes the first pitch for a ball. And next offering up high, ball 2. In game 1, Contopoulos went 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Was pinch hit for in her last, well, would have been her last plate appearance by Caitlin Smith. That was the final out of the game. Here's the 2-0 now as Contopoulos fouls it off. So 2-1 the count. The 2-1 to Contopoulos. And this is going to be a hard grounder through the defense. And now she throws the ball away, so Contopoulos is going to take off for second. The throw is going to be not in time. Hustle play, Alyssa Contopoulos hits a hard grounder. It got past Gaziano and Martinez. The throw from Utz back to first got past Gaziano, and it was a good throw to second by Bloyer, but the tag just not in time.
Now batting for the Cougars, number 8, Caitlin Smith.
So it will be a single for Contopoulos. And then she advances to second. She'll keep the inning alive. So now hitting is the DP for the Cougars, Caitlin Smith. Had that pinch hit I mentioned in game 1. And now she makes contact with this one, and it's scooped up by Pozynski, and she can't throw it in time. The ball was initially tipped by Duval at third. And I think there's some bad communication on the Falcons' part, because I think the tip from Duval slowed her down.
For the Cougars, number 15, Arissa Santos.
And now it'll be up to Arissa Santos to keep these batters moving along. 2 outs. Runners at first and second. First pitch to Santos. She's going to swing at it. A high bouncer. Grabbed by Pozynski to throw to first. Is in time. Just barely. Pozynski gets the final out of the inning, and the Cougars leave a pair on. So we head now to the top of the third. CUC still on top of the Falcons, 1-0. We'll have more for you when we're back on the Cougar Sports Network in just a second. Adriana Martinez leads us off here in the top of the third. Her Falcons looking to put some offense up as she immediately pops up the first pitch, and Ailey Goldsby will take care of it in center field for the first out of the inning. So game one's pitcher flies out. This game, Martinez can be found at second. And with the 8-hitter out of the way, now it's at the 9-hole with Riley Duval. Had herself a really nice game 1. Went 1 for 2 as she immediately popped at the first pitch. This one in the deep center, but Haley Goldsby tracks it down again. Back-to-back pitches, back-to-back flyouts to Haley Goldsby. And 2 quick outs as we get set for Sydney Erdman, the leadoff hitter for the Falcons. Grounded out to second in her first at-bat this game in game 1. She ended up going 2 for 4 with a pair of runs and 1 RBI. Now here's another pop fly. Archuleta gets under it and makes the grab. So how about that for Megan Buska? 3 pitches, 3 flyouts, And we head now to the bottom of the third. Cougars still on top of the Falcons, 1-0. Haley Goldsby will get us started here in the bottom of the third. Goldsby coming off an 0 for 2 game in game 1. She did draw a walk. She then laid down a sac bunt in the first inning of this game that moved Arissa Santos over to second, who came home to score the first and only run of today's second game so far. As Goldsby will take strike one, 1-1. Here's the 1-1 from Freeze, and it is gloved by Gaziano, who just presses it against the plate for out, number 1. And with that, it'll be Emily Garcia. She has the RBI single for CUC. First pitch to Garcia, she'll take for a strike. One on Garcia's Freeze delivers. That ball hit right up the middle for a base knock. Garcia gets her second single of the game. Hit number 3 on the day for Garcia, as with 1 out, a runner on. It'll be Jess Gang, flew out to the first baseman in her first plate appearance. As the first pitch of this at-bat fouled off backwards for strike 1. Gang will be followed up by Archuleta, barring any double play action here. Coming into today, CUW had turned 8 double plays as 0-1 is popped up. Gaziano gets under it for the grab, and she once again retires Jess Gang on the fly out. Bella Archuleta at the play. Archuleta grounded out to short her first at-bat. Still looking for her first hit on the day. 1 0 for 3 in game 1. She'll take a ball there. Trying to do something in her last game as a Cougar. As the next offering to Archuleta high for ball 2. So Freeze has settled down a little bit since that first inning. Still hasn't been exactly clean pitching for her, but she's only given up the 1 run so far. As the 2-0 is going to be hit sharply to Martinez, and she gets it to second for 1, gets it to first in time. Double play ball. They go 4-6-3, and the Cougars will send out their defense once again. So 1-0 as we head to the top of the fourth. You're watching the Cougars Sports Network. Top of the fourth time here in River Forest, and it'll be Gabby Wheat to lead us off. Wheat struck out swinging in her first at-bat, and she takes the first pitch for a strike. Megan Buska coming off a very effective third inning, 3 pitches, 3 outs, 2 flyouts to Haley Goldsby in center, and then 1 to Bella Archuleta at third as that next pitch is high, so 1-1 count now. We had 2 hits in the first game, infield singles as well. She's got some speed as here's a softly hit ball to Garcia. The throw to first will be in time to get her. Always got to be careful with her on the base paths with her speed. So 4-3 ground out for Gabby Wheat. It'll now be Jess Pozinski, the 2 home run game in game 1. She's already made a stellar defensive play in this game. But at the plate in game 2, she flew out to Gina Westfall in the first inning as she's going to line this one into left. Westfall can't make the grab over her glove. Bounces against the wall. Pozinski steps on second base for a stand-up double. So Jess Pozinski picking up right where she left off in game 1, excuse me. And with 1 runner in scoring position, 1 out, it'll be Claudia Utz. She flew out to center, her first at-bat. Three hits in game 1 and an RBI. She takes a ball there. Good eye by Utz. The 1-0 to Utz is lifted. Gina Westfall drops the ball. It landed right in front of her glove, and she just couldn't reel it in. So it'll now be runners in the corners with 1 out. We'll go down as the error on Gina Westfall. So 1. And now is a ball issued to Bloyer. Bloyer a single. And her first at bat was then thrown out at second on a fielder's choice. Here's the 1-0. In there, getting the throw down to second is going to get away from Santos. That will allow Pozinski to come home and score. So a stolen base for Utz. And in the chaos, Pozinski able to come home and score. So wasn't a double steal to start, but after the ball got into center, shallow right actually, Cougar is able to take advantage. Now this ball is lined into center, and stopping at first will be Bloyer, as now CUW's offense seems to have found a groove here. And now we get a time is Coach O'Malley Fisher going to come out and have a chat with their defense. So, Jess Pozinski able to come home and score off an error given to Arissa Santos. And now we have runners in the corners. Utz at third, Bloyer at first. And that next pitch, the runners think about going. Bloyer thought about it and said she will scamper back to first base. Here's the 1-0. That ball hit sharply to Santos. Flips it to second for one to throw to first. In time, double play. So Santos makes up for the error on the pickoff attempt. And we head now to the bottom of the fourth. But the Falcons, they do tie it up. So we will head bottom half of the inning coming up shortly. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Cougars Sports Network.
More about Concordia Chicago.
Head to cuchicago.edu for information on our university.
We appreciate you tuning into today's game and hope to see you at CUC very soon.
Melissa Hajik will get us started in this brand new ball game after the CUW tied it up in the top of the fourth off an error from Arissa Santos on a pickoff attempt, excuse me. So now it's Hajik who walked in her first plate appearance as she takes a swinging strike on the first pitch. This is the 0-1 to Hajik. She'll take that in. 1-1. Hajik makes contact and it gets past the glove of Pozinski. So a leadoff single for Melissa Hajik. Third time that the leadoff hitter for the Cougars has reached base. As Westfall was showing bunt, she pulls back in time to take the ball. She shows bunt again. She lays this one down. The throw to first is in time, but Hajik will advance to second. So successful sack bunt from Gina Westfall. And it'll now be Alyssa Contopoulos, who hit a single in the second inning, stretched it to second base on a throwing error from Utz and Wright. Let's see what she can do with a runner in scoring position. And she's going to take the first pitch for ball 1. She'll swing through for strike 1. Here's the 1-1 to Contopoulos, down low, so 2-1 now. Contopoulos, the final member of the CUC lineup, playing in her final collegiate game here in Game 2. As the 2-1 is popped up, shallow fly, and it's grabbed in the infield by Pozazinski. Now it'll be Caitlin Smith to try and do something with Hajik in scoring position. Smith had herself a single in her first at-bat, as this pitch is going to be high for ball 1. To Smith, she'll wait on, takes 2-0 now. Good pullback, she's all about going. Count as Freeze delivers in there, strike 1. Freeze hits the strike zone. First time this at bat. That ball in there for strike 2. So count evened up now on Caitlin Smith. As that ball is going to make its way past the infield. Hajik is getting the hold sign, so she will. Meanwhile, Smith advances to second, though we know who the Falcons were really worried about, which was Hajik. She stays at third, as now here comes Coach Crook to have a chat with his pitcher Freeze. I don't believe a poll is coming here. I think she will be staying in the game. As now you have the biggest Cougar bat, and Arissa Santos walking up to the plate, having a chat with the Cougars assistant coach and third base coach for this doubleheader, Izzy Ortiz. Having a chat with Santos, Haley Goldsby on deck, as well as Hajik and Smith, the base runners. So Arissa Santos has a chance to make some noise here. 2 runners in scoring position, but she has to reach safely. 2 outs up on the board. Hit a single in her first at-bat this second game, then grounded out in her second at-bat. Here's the first pitch to Santos. Ball 1. 1-0 misses as well, makes it 2-0 now. Freeze does have that base empty at first, so a walk wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. And even though Haley Goldsby has been having a good season, and I think they're just going to pitch out here to Santos. They look like they will, as Bloyer standing straight up. They would rather face Haley Goldsby than Arissa Santos, which, as I was about to say, even though Goldsby is having a good season at the plate, you'd rather face about just anyone than Arissa Santos with 2 runners in scoring position. Instead, the Falcons, they'll take their chance with Haley Goldsby and the bases loaded. First pitch to Goldsby high and away for ball 1. Now Freeze cannot give up the walk. The bases loaded, that will drive in the run. Here's the 1-0 to Goldsby. She'll take for a strike. And the 1-1 to Goldsby. Knocked foul. 1-2 the count. So Goldsby has to go into protect mode here. One more strike and she strands the bases loaded. Here's the 1-2. Fouled off. She stays alive. The 1-2 again. Goldsby doesn't go. Able to pull her swing back in time. So 2-2 remains the count. Good pullback there by Goldsby. She was ready to go round, but able to keep her hands up by her head. So 2-1 count. Freeze. The pitch. High and away. 3-2 now. So a ball issued, and the Cougars walk in a run. Strike issued, and that'll do it for the inning. So big pitch coming up here for Freeze. See what she, as well as her catcher Bloyer, dial up here. The 3-2, and that ball is gonna be caught. A big catch there by Utz. And that strands the bases loaded on the full count. So we will head now to the top of the 5th. We are still all tied up here in River Forest. 1-1 ball game. Don't go anywhere. You are watching the Cougar Sports Network. Well, a score update from Mequon, Wisconsin, home of the Concordia University Wisconsin Falcons, where these two schools' baseball teams were competing, I should say. They came away with a split. Concordia, Wisconsin took game 1, a walk-off in the bottom of the 7th, and the Cougars destroyed them 14-2 in game 2. Unfortunately, though, with that game 1 loss, the Cougars are officially out of the playoff race, so their season has come to a conclusion. So now eyes turn to what is all of a sudden the final CUC athletics game of the year. Track and field is still competing, but in terms of your more traditional team versus team game, this is it for the school year. See if the Cougars can pull off a win, as they are currently tied with the Falcons 1-1 here in River Forest. And as for the batter at the plate, it is Gabby Gaziano. Has a 1-2 count against Megan Buska. As Buska delivers the 1-2. It's a roller, and it skips past Santos. Took a last-second hop on her. You going hit on that? So that will be we're going to call it a single for Gaziano. Santos moving a little bit too side to side rather than forward towards the ball. That has allowed it to take that last second hop, as here's a bunt by Martinez. Throw to first is in time. Throw to second. And diving back in is Gaziano. Cougars almost caught her too far off the bag. So the sac bunt by Adriana Martinez moves Gaziano into scoring position with one out. And it'll be Riley Duvall now, who flew out to center her first at bat. That ball in there for a strike. You know, 1 now, and that ball knocked foul down the left field line. So 0-2 count. Two count. The pitch to Duvall high, ball 1. Buska seeing if she can get her to chase any at all. Does not. Here's the 1-2. That ball is lifted into left. It's going to drop. And rounding third to try and score is Gaziano. She's going to do so with ease. RBI double for Riley Duvall. And that'll make it a 3-1 ball game. 2-1 ball game. So an RBI double for Riley Duvall makes it 2-1 in favor of the Falcons. Count now on Erdman, who's going to hit this past the diving Santos. And runners were going to stay where they're put, but with the throw to home, Erdman snuck her way to second. So a single for Erdman, advances to second on the throw, pushes Duvall to third, and now 2 runners in scoring position for Maddie Wheat. Wheat so far in this game 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. As that ball misses for a ball. 1-0. We showed bunt, pulls back in time for a ball. So count 2-0 now. And there's the bunt, but it goes foul backwards towards Jess Gang. She barehanded it, but it will force Maddie Wheat to retreat. Falcons trying to catch CUC off guard. So 2-1 count now on the CUW center fielder. The pitch, and there's a grounder gloved by Hajik. Great throw to the home, is not in time. Fantastic backhand by Hajik. She's able to step on the bag for 1 out, but coming home to score was Duval. So that makes it a 3-1 ball game. At third is Erdman. As we're going to get some changes here for CUC. So we're going to have a new pitcher, I believe. We'll have to see what those changes are when we come back here in just a second. So don't go anywhere. You're watching the Cougars Sports Network. So the defensive change for CUC is Mikyler Morris, and at third for Belle Archuleta. That ball is low for ball 1 to Jess Pozazinski. So the Cougars, looks like they will be 1 by 1 taking out their seniors to be able to give them the recognition they deserve as they leave the field. So in that case, it was Belle Archuleta, 4-year member of the squad. Been the regular third baseman for Cougars for a number of seasons now. So she heads to the dugout, leaves the field for final time in her career. Gina Westfall and Melissa Contopoulos, the other 2 seniors, out in left and right. But meanwhile, in the game, it's a 3-0 count as that ball is lifted into left. It stays just fair by a matter of inches. Pozazinski keeps that one in fair territory, and coming home to score is Erdman. So RBI double for Pozazinski, who just continues to rack up the hits today. And now we won't get a pitching change for the Cougars. So new pitcher coming in. We'll take a break here once again. When we come back, we'll have info for the new Cougar in the circle. Don't go anywhere just yet. We're watching the Cougar Sports Network. Claudia Utz Gets us going here. And the new pitcher in the circle for CUC. We saw her start the afternoon. That is Eden Pufall. Back pitching for CUC in game 1. Pufall went 4 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs, all of which were earned. Walked 3 batters, so she checks back in now for CUC. As her 0-1 hits the strike zone, makes it 0-2 against Claudia Utz, who so far today a fly out and then has reached on an error in this second game. The 0-2. And that ball is going to drop in right. Coming home to score is Pozazinski. And now the throw to second will be in time. They get Utz trying to stretch it to second. Pozazinski will still come home to score, so it still will be an RBI single for Utz. She's thrown out at second. Pozazinski comes home to score. So it is now a 5-1 ball game in favor of the Falcons. So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll have the bottom of the 5th for you. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Cougar Sports Network. Emily Garcia will lead off for CUC here in the bottom of the 5th. They finally find themselves in a 4-run hole. As Garcia tries to catch the defense off guard with a bunt. It goes foul, however, so it'll just result in strike 1. That ball misses, so 1-1 now. That ball skips in the dirt, so 2-1 now on Garcia. Garcia with a pair of singles today. It's the 2-1 to Garcia. It's going to be a grounder to Pozazinski. Throws over to first in time for the first out of the inning. So I'll bring up Jess Gang now. A pair of flyouts to Gaziano at first. Makes it an 0-1 count. Ball misses, so it'll be 1-1 now on Jessica Gang. So you see backstop in both games today. Trying to put a nice finishing touch on her junior season. As the 1-1 is going to miss, makes it 2-1. One of the members of the leadership team here for the Cougars, along with fellow junior Ashley Schroll, and then graduating senior Belle Archuleta and fifth-year Nikita Robbins. This game has been an integral part of this team since she got here as a freshman. This game lifts that one. It's going back. This one's still going back. It's gone! Solo home run, Jessica Gang. And the Cougars get a run back. That ball just kept on carrying. And Jess Gang with a swing of the bat makes it 5-2. For Gang, that is home run number 1 on the season. Kind of surprising. Gang has always flashed some power. And in her last game of the season, maybe her last at bat, depending on how things go the rest of the way, she's able to power her first ball past the outfield wall. So now up to bat is Michaela Morris, taking over for Archuleta at third and in the 5th spot in the lineup. As Morris fouls one off. So 1-1 count now. Here's the 1-1. Low makes it 2-1. And 2-1 to Michaela Morris is in there for a strike. 2-2 now. See how Freeze can settle back in after that long ball to Jess Gang. First CUC homer we've seen today. As the 2-2 swung on and missed for strike 3. Morris thought it was a drop third strike. The umpire didn't show any sign of that. Falcons still throw it down the line just to be safe. So at 2 outs, it will be Melissa Hajik today. A walk and a single in this second game. She's going to take that first pitch in the dirt for ball 1. One 0 count on Hajik as Freeze delivers. Hajik is going to be a grounder, gloved by Martinez, throws to Gaziano in time for the out at first, and that'll do it for the 5th inning. The Cougars, they get a run back off the Jess Gang solo shot to left field. We head now to the top of the 6th. Cougars still trailing the Falcons. 5-2 is your score. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a second on the Cougars Sports Network. Megan Bloyer will start us off here in the top of the 6th. Her team is still up 5-2, even after the Jessica Gang solo home run last half inning. Bloyer in this game so far, a pair of singles. And she takes an off-speed pitch from Poofall for a strike. 0-2 the count now. The 0-2 now. Gonna be rolled in there for ball. 1-2 the count. One-two count on Bloyer. Poofall delivers that ball knocked right over the Cougar dugout. Here's the 1-2. That ball fouled off. So 1-2 count. That ball is going to be grounded up the middle into center field for a base knock. Bloyer, her 3rd single of the day. Game 2 at least, I should say. And now it'll be the pitcher, Jasmine Freeze. As we have a pinch runner as well. So Bloyer will head off the base paths, and it'll be Jenna Shadowski. We saw her pinch run in game 1, and now she's back. As one 0 count on Jasmine Freeze, who hit into a fielder's choice and a double play so far in this second game. So she's pitching a nice game, has given up 8 hits, but is limited at just 2 runs, one of which was a solo home run. So despite the amount of hits CUC's doing, Freeze is doing a good job of just keeping that score low, as now she has a 2-0 count in her favor against Poofall. The 2-0, as Shadowski takes off for second. The throw is going to be not in time. Stolen base for Jenna Shadowski. And it's a 3-0 count on Freeze on top of that. Here's the 3-0 to Freeze. Ball swung on and missed for a strike. A quick swing from Freeze, but here's the 3-1 from Poofall. That ball is going to be a shallow pop fly, and Santos doesn't even have to leave the infield to snag it for out number 1. So Gabby Gaziano steps up to the plate now. In this second game, a strikeout and a single. Also has scored a run. And that ball Misses for ball one. The 1-0. In there. Strike one. 1-1 now. Assuming a weird double play doesn't happen here. It's unlikely with the runner at second. Adriana Martinez should be able to at-bat this inning as well. She sits on deck. And the 1-1. It's going to be in the dirt. 2-1 now for Gaziano. Two-one coming up from Eden Pufall. Misses inside. 3-1 now. Pufall keeps falling behind the count to these CUW batters. See if they can take advantage of it this time. The 3-1 high for ball four. So runners at first and second, still just one out. As now it is Adriana Martinez. And before that, pitching coach and assistant sports information director Sydney Palacios-Lar is going to march out to the circle and have a chat with her defense. And instead it will just be her, Pufall, and gang. Making sure everything is in shape here. This game is by no means out of reach for the CUC offense, who has shown to be capable of putting up some major runs. Of course, that all starts with the defense keeping them in check. Now the home plate umpire comes out to break up the visit. So everyone heads back to their positions. Adriana Martinez, I should say, steps back to the plate. Martinez, a flyout and a sac bunt in her two at-bats this second game. I mentioned it earlier, picked up the win in game one as she looks at strike one. Now the 0-1. That ball is going to be a grounder. Garcia bobbles it. Can she still get in there in time? She does. Good persistence from Garcia as she bobbled the initial grounder, kept running through with it, kept it in front of her, and still flipped it to Hajic in time. So good play there by the CUC freshman. It advances the runners to second and to third. 2 outs now as that ball is going to be lifted. Alyssa Contopoulos gets under it for out number 3. So the Falcons, they strand a couple in scoring position, and we head now to the bottom of the 6th. Cougars got to get some runs back here. They trail the Falcons 5-2. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Cougars Sports Network. Gina Westfall at the plate now for CUC. Could be her final plate appearance as a Cougar in her career. So far today in this second game, a double play and a sac bunt for Westfall. She takes one way high and away for ball one. Westfall followed by a fellow senior, Alyssa Contopoulos, and then Caitlin Smith. So the 7, 8, 9 hitters all guaranteed at bats this inning. As the next pitch to Westfall pops it up into center where it is grabbed by Wheat for the first out.
Now batting for the Cougars, number 25, Alyssa Contopoulos.
So Contopoulos comes to the plate now. 1 for 2 in this game. A single, and a fly out as she swings at the first pitch. Pozinski grabs it, throws the first in time. Great play there by Pozinski at short. Had to travel a long way for that ball, and with 2 quick outs, it will now be Caitlin Smith to try and keep the inning alive. Smith in this game is a pair of hits, 2 singles. So she can get another one here. She's going to take the first pitch down the middle for a strike. And that ball high and in. Smith leaned out of the way a little bit. Don't think it would have hit her, but still. Just being precautious. Here's the 1-1, and she'll make contact with it to Pozinski. Scoops up the ball, throws the first in time for the final out of the inning. Cougars, they go down in order, so we will head now to the top of the 7th. Final inning coming up here in River Forest. See if the Falcons can tag on a couple more runs. We'll have that action for you in just a minute on the Cougar Sports Network.
More about Concordia Chicago, head to cuchicago.edu for information on our university.
We appreciate you tuning into today's game and hope to see you at CUC very soon. Roll Cougs!
Sydney Erdman at the plate now for Concordia, Wisconsin. Final inning for CUW to try and tack on some insurance runs, build up their 3-run lead on the Cougars as she'll take the first pitch for a strike. One misses low and away, makes it 1-1. So 1-1 count on the CUW left fielder. Here's the pitch inside, almost catches her in the hands. 2-1 the count now. The 2-1 to Freeze is gonna miss, makes it 3-1. That ball popped up in foul territory. Kyler Morris makes the grab for first out. pinch hitter here. So it'll be Caitlin Way at the plate now. Pinch hitter for CUW. On the season, Way, a 360 hitter in 25 games played. She's only started in 2 of them. So 1-0 count on Way. As she's going to ground this one to Santos. Gloves it, throws it to first in time for the out. And now, as regularly scheduled, it will be number 9, Jess Pozinski, who's just having a torrid day. A pair of doubles in this game, had a pair of home runs in game 1. She's been almost unbeatable for Cougar pitchers. See if Pufall can get her out here to end the top of 7th, set her team up as best she can for the bottom half of the inning. As the first pitch to Pozinski's fouled back. One count. Next pitch to Pozinski. Rockets it foul. Heads up over there. That ball had some heat on it. So 0-2 count now on the heavy hitter for CUW. So 0-2 count on Pozinski. Pufall trying to end this inning at just 3 batters. As she gets set and delivers the 0-2, and it's a soft fly up. Gang can't make the grab. Diving effort, Jess Gang laid out for it, just came up short. So Pozinski will get set to do it again. Oh, 2 count on Pozinski. And here's the 0-2 from Pufall. Ball high, so 1-2 the count. One, 2 count on Pozinski. Pufall trying to get out of this inning with no damage given up. The pitch, fouled off. Pozinski stays alive. One, 2 count on Pozinski. The next pitch, lined up the middle for a hit. Pozinski stays alive. She adds another hit to her day's total. That's 3 in this second game. Game 1, she had 4, so she has 7 hits on the day. Cannot get her out. Seven for 9. And here's the pitch from Pufall. That ball popped up. It's going back, and it's against the wall. It'll at least be a double. Pozinski's going to try to come home. She should be out. The tag is, Jess Gang dropped it at the last second. The throw was in time. Gang just couldn't reel in the ball. And so that'll score a run. So that'll make it 6-2 now. RBI double for Utz. And with 2 outs, a runner in scoring position, it is now Megan Bloyer. She takes a ball. So Cougars now have 4 runs to make up in the bottom of the 7th if they want to at least force extra innings in the final game of the Concordia school year. 1-0 misses away, 2-0 now. The 2-0. High and away, 3-0 now. Bloyer today in the second game, 3 singles in her 3 at-bats. She adds another one here, might be able to score Utz depending on where it goes. And here's the 3-0 in there for strike 1. Here's 3-1. That ball drilled into right. Kantopoulos fighting for it, grabs it for out number 3. Kantopoulos, some nice footwork to get under it and make it the grab for out number 3, but the Falcons grab 1 run on 2 hits, and we head now to the bottom of the 7th. The Cougars, they have to score 4 to at least force extras. See what they do when we come back on the Cougar Sports Network in just a second. Could be the final inning of the 2024 softball season. The Cougars need to score 4 runs to make that not happen. And it starts with Arissa Santos against a new CUW pitcher who immediately fires a strike to Santos. That pitcher is number 3, Emma Shellstrom, who coming into today has made 13 appearances, 11 starts, a 4.44 ERA. As the 0-1 is high for ball 1. 1-1 count on Santos. Santos pulled back her swing, but it still lands in the strike zone. Here's the 1-2. Outside, 2-2 now. So Santos, the one hitter, will be fought up by Haley Goldsby, who's on deck. And should be Emily Garcia as well. And here's the 2-2. And Santos knocks this one down the right field line. Making the running grab is Utz for out number 1. Nice grab there by Utz. Had to travel away for it. And with 1 out, it'll now be Haley Goldsby. As Goldsby will take the first pitch for a strike in this game. Goldsby a sac bunt, a ground out, and a fly out in her 3 appearances at the plate. Here's the 0-1. Goldsby showed bunt. She pulls back in time to take a ball. Now the 1-1. Goldsby takes it up high. 2-1 the count. Two 1 is in there for a strike, so count evened up at 2-2. And that ball is knocked foul in left field territory. So Goldsby will stay alive for another pitch at least. Two from Shellstrom is low. Ball 3, full count now. Three, 2. Goldsby takes for ball 4. So the Cougars get a base runner here in the bottom of the 7th. And it brings up Emily Garcia, who so far today in this second game, a pair of singles and a ground out. And that ball is going to be caught by Wheat. And a one-pitch fly out for Garcia. So it all comes down to the bat of Jess Gang. Had a solo home run in the 5th inning. And Gang has to reach safely to prolong CUC's season. The 0-1 gets a piece of it, and just like that, Cougars down to their final strike on the 2024 season. Shellstrom trying to put the Cougars away. Come away with the doubleheader sweep for Concordia, Wisconsin. The pitch. And this ball is a short pop fly caught by Gaziano, and that will do it. The 2024 season is in the books for the Cougars, ending with today's 6-2 Game 2 loss to the Concordia University Wisconsin Falcons. So let's get some of the final stats from this game. For the visiting Falcons, they pull away with a 6-2 win in Game 2 to clinch the doubleheader sweep over the Cougars. The RBI is coming from Utz with 2, Pozinski with 1, Wheat had 1, and Duval had 1 as well. Pozinski only 1 RBI, but had 3 more hits in this game. She came away with 7 on the day. As for pitching-wise, Jasmine Fries will pick up the win. 6 innings, 8 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, a pair of walks, and a strikeout as well. As for the home team, the Cougars, RBIs courtesy of Emily Garcia and Jess Gang. Gang with her first home run on the season. Multi-hit days from Garcia with 2 and Caitlin Smith with 2. While pitching-wise, it'll be Megan Buska picking up the loss. 4 2/3 pitch, 7 hits, 5 runs, all of which were earned, and a pair of strikeouts to her name. So Concordia, Wisconsin, they win with 6 runs off of 11 hits, 1 error, 5 left on base. While for the Cougars, they score 2 runs off of 8 hits. They committed 2 errors and left 8 on base. But that'll do it. So Concordia, Wisconsin, they improved to 23-9 on the year, 17-3 in conference play. They still got 2 more doubleheaders to go in the season, while the Cougars, they conclude their season 11-26-1 and 7-17. But that'll do it for the 2024 CUC softball season. I want to say thanks to everybody making this Cougar Sports Network production possible. Our producer, Abby Kulig, working scoreboard, Natalie Gerardo, and we're under the direction of Sydney Plaskas-Laher, who is out coaching with softball today, and our sports information director, Kayla McLeod. But for the final time in the 2023-24 school year, this is Peter Borkowski signing off of the Cougar Sports Network and wanting to say, as always, go Cougars!
Much for tuning in to today's Concordia University Chicago Cougars Athletics broadcast. We hope to see you on campus very soon. If you would like to learn more about what Concordia Chicago has to offer, go to cuchicago.edu.